Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the JFC. Jackson Bryan here, flying solo today. A lot's going on. As you guys know, there is an impending, or at this time you see this, there is a snowstorm in the United States currently. Fry is unavailable due to precautions he's taking right now, so hopefully he's safe. I did speak with him a couple days ago, so he's fine. I'm going to have to talk to him again because that was a couple days ago. Um, But we're here. We're live. How is everyone doing? It's not going to be a long live show today. Obviously, please like, share, and subscribe. There's our Twitter handle. But as the ticker below shows, like, follow, and share. Support. All support is appreciated. I do appreciate a lot of people watching the last video. Um, you can watch if you prefer to watch or not. Like, I'm not gonna force you or anything, so that's cool as well. Um, but yeah, we'll jump straight into it. The Reggae Boys have had a match, of course. They played against Grenada. For those who did sit through that and watch it at the same time that I did, I must, I'm not, I must apologize because we could have obviously done something with our with our Sunday evenings, but we did get the win. There's a 1-0 win. For those watching this, for those who are going to be watching this on YouTube later, the links for everything will be in the description for the match day review from our articles, along with another move, another player profile. I realized that the player profiles get a lot of views as well. So we'll keep that up as best as I can. I did that as a one-off, and now I cannot stop doing them because you guys like it so much. Yeah, Jamaica 1-0 over Grenada at the Kirani James Stadium. Um, I mean, massive result for the players who were playing. It's a massive result for Grenada, even though they didn't lose the last time we played them. I think we put 3 or 4 past them. So yeah, that's gonna happen. It was a team of local based players for the most part. Obviously, Damian Lowe is an international, overseas based. Amal Knight is overseas based. Just signed a contract with a USL team, if I'm not wrong. Ronaldo Webster plays in. Where does Ronaldo Webster play again? He plays in Europe. He's in the Conference League. That's what I do know. I don't remember if it's North Macedonia. I don't want to be wrong there. Um, but there were a lot of positives to see from the game, even though it was a shit show of a match. Um, let's be real. Nearly none of these players are good enough to come into the regular team that we normally have. Maybe they can get into the squad and make the numbers stronger, but none of them are able to actually get into the team itself. I mean, you see players, it's hard to do 3-4 yard passes, and Fuller came on, did well. Jordan Fletcher was barely getting any touches. He and Warner Brown had to drift wide a lot of the time. I mean, I got the lineup spot on. Warner through the middle, Dwayne Atkinson on the left, and Jordan Fletcher on the right. I mean, I'd have Warner out wide, but so is so. And Warner Brown, I mean, you see a couple passes, right? For example, angling, and he goes backwards, and then and then to Stephen Young, who by the way was outstanding. Then Young, he'd find Atkinson. The moment Atkinson, he's just dribbling, he's losing the ball, he's trying to pass, and nothing's going into the 2-star strikers we have. I mean, it was it was a bad playing game, a bad game to watch, but there were some positives in regards to individual performances, guys. For those on the YouTube comments after you see this, if you can put down in the comments below as well, who do you think were the better performers as well? And could they actually make it into the March international break? But for me, I earmarked 4 or 5 players. Dwayne Atkinson, You guys call him Busy. I think I'm not into the alias thing. Unless I personally know that player, i.e. Cash, Tamo, Dino. I'm not going to do it with players that I don't know or never met. So don't sue me for that. But yeah, start of the game, like when he was playing on the left wing, I think everybody knew he was going to start, and Rudolph Speed's teams don't play with number 10s or attacking midfielders. So he was always going to be on the wing or in central midfield, and that was never good for him. That was just not good, and we saw it. Then afterwards, they moved him more central into the second half, and then you saw the combinations. You saw what he actually can do, and this is a clear case of a misused player because. If I'm not mistaken, he was playing on the wings when he was playing locally as well. And for some reason, people don't realize. It's like, for example, Bruno Fernandes on Manchester United. Yes, he can play in central midfield. But if you play him at 10 or that's in the floating role there, you see a whole new player, a much better player. And that's exactly how I see Dwayne Atkinson. Now, he's also in the USL. Hopefully, I don't think he'll be able to get a massive move. And just ergo, massive moves for me compared for the Jamaican footballers. Massive moves are to one of the teams between one of the leagues between 15 and 30. You know, massive moves are you move to EFL League One or to the Norwegian First Division or Austria. You know, leagues where Champions League, Europa League are available, moves to Scotland, like what Richard King and Jalmaro Calvin did. I'm gonna have to find out what's happening with him, by the way. He's been missing. I'm also setting up an interview with someone at Crawley Town because I need to get more information on Kaim Dixon as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll let you know when that's close by. But I'm straight in here. Dwayne Atkinson, really, really good when he was playing as an attacking midfielder. Does that give him the mode? No, I know Kasey Palmer is fit. John Russell is there. Bobby Decordova Reed is scoring goals. It's very difficult based on his position, especially he doesn't bring anything that the others do. I mean, maybe he does bring a ball carrying ability, but we don't keep possession as a team. So him carrying the ball forward, passing it to just see his team lose it is pointless. Another player, I already spoke about him, Stephen Young, very composed, ball playing centre back, last ditch tackles, sweeper. What else can I say? I mean, if I'm to compare him to a modern day, if I'm to compare him to a top level centre half in world football, I probably would compare Stephen Young to. It's a bit difficult. I would probably compare Stephen Young to Mark Guehi. He's not getting any ratings, and let's be honest, no one rates Guehi highly enough to say he's one of the top centre backs in the Premier League, and he is by a long way. He's within the top 10, but no one wants to have that conversation. He is this close to touching 5, and no one wants to make it known. He's gone to City now, so we'll know about it. But that's exactly how I feel with Stephen Young. Now we have had centre back issues, even though you guys you've seen freaking we have Pinnock, we have King, players like that, Mason Holgate, Deshaun Bernard's coming back fit, but that's just it. Amari Bell's still injured, so is Bernard. Holgate has not looked the part since he's come into the national team. So you do only have 2. So that does leave a space for one player. And Stephen Young could be that player to come into the national program. Don't get too riled up on it, but he is a player that we could look at and be like, yeah, Stephen Young in the team with a Richard King and an Ethan Pinnock. We may be switching to a back 3, and we don't know. Hell, Joe Latibeaudiere is back as well. Maybe he goes to right back and Young gets a centre back shot. We don't know. We're playing New Caledonia. Of course, take every game seriously, but that is a game Stephen Young could possibly start. Um, Another player, I'll just go through just a couple more because it was hard to pick out, but then when I started to look at only individual performances and not a team performance, it was much easier to watch. Amal Knight, he's got to be there. I'd prefer Amal Knight in that goalkeepers union over Jamali Wade. I really would. I mean, Tafari Chambers, yes, he should be there. He would be our domestic player, local based player. Andre Blake, of course, he's starter. No one's going to displace him. But Amal Knight might be that third string or that backup we look at and say Blake has another injury like he did in the qualifiers back in last year. I think it was in the October internationals. Amal Knight is a very capable deputy and does not have us having coronaries during the game. So he's got to be there. And Ronaldo Webster, I've been singing his praises for God knows how long. He's playing in the Conference League, and you're still not selecting him because um, Greg Lee. Which look, I like Greg Lee, but he's not playing for Oxford. He's getting sub appearances because Jack Curry's taken his spot. He's took his chain. Amari Bell, as we said, he's injured. Yeah, Rico Henry's back, but ever since that knee injury, Rico Henry has not been the same. So that's the issue there with him. And Joshua Anglin, I mean, for some reason he's still playing in the Jamaican Premier League, which is good for us because we get to see him week in week out. But my word, I genuinely can envision him in the Notts County midfield, or even the I could actually envision him playing for Sheffield United right now in their midfield. He would not look out of place. That boy, or man, he's older than me. That guy has got bags of talent, and if he stays here, he will never unearth that. He's got to move, and I'm telling you right now, if his agent gets him to MLS or some lower ranked Scandinavian league, I'm gonna be pissed off because that is gonna be a pure disregard of his talent. I mean, we need to get our players to Belgium at this point and then just have them sell them off because that's the best thing to do. I mean, no, Mount Pleasant have that thing with RAC Mons, but they're not a professional team in Belgium. They're not in the realms of professionality or professionalism. So we're gonna have to find other ways. KV Machalon or teams like that to send them up and hopefully, I don't say hopefully, he will show his talent and he will be recognized by the coaching staff there and he will at that point be a starter. And one thing I know about the Belgian league, French, Ligue 1, Bundesliga, and also if you hear that, that's my computer, and also the Spanish league. They love to look at the Belgian league. They love to loan their talents to the Belgian league as well. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer. And if he does transfer and go to RAC Mons, then it's another talent down the drain. You know. But apart from that, 1-0 win. It's a good result for them morally. Moral-wise, those players are like, yes, we've won a game for Jamaica. We've played for Jamaica. Good on us. But it was, look, the game had no ball carriers, right? Apart from Atkinson taking the ball deep and moving, we had none. As good as I've just lamented Joshua Anglin for, passing, pinging it one side of the pitch to the other, making tackles, holding the ball, Busquets-wise, yes, he's perfect. He is our Sergio Busquets. But we ain't got a Xavi. We ain't got a Luka Modric. We ain't have a Kaka, a Gattuso. We ain't got none of that. We don't have a Seedorf. And that's the problem. We played with a decent midfield. A two of Anglin and Lambert. Now, in a regular World Cup qualifying game, Anglin with Lambert beside him and Bobby Reid ahead of them, brilliant, because you know it's gonna be tackle, give to Bobby, and he sprays it to Dixon or Gray or Cephas or or Nicholson or whoever, and we move that box. You can't pass that. But what's gonna happen when a team sits back, like what Grenada did? We can't pass through them because those two are not going to bomb up and join the attack. They're gonna stay back. I saw that for 90 minutes or as long as they stayed on the field. They don't. They're not gonna bomb forward and do all of that. Oh, Merrick, he was a good baller as well. But back to this, they're not gonna bomb forward, and we need someone who is gonna stay deep, but is gonna look and say, "They're sitting back. I'm gonna join the attack now. We're gonna bomb forward. We're gonna cause some problems up there. We're gonna make the defense out of sorts." And we don't have that, so that was an issue that I saw in the match. The lack of consistent attacking threats was an issue. Like we never start getting consistent attacking threats until about the 71st minute. Like for the previous 70 minutes, it was we're putting crosses in, no one's there. We're playing through the center, reach the striker, loses the ball. We're taking set pieces, it's not going on target, nothing's happening, and there's no real attacking threat. That's a problem. I know it's just the local players, but that was something I saw wrong with the game. And along with me, if you know who I am, you know I only have two principles in football: work ethic and off the ball movement. Well, three: intelligence. But off the ball movement was lacking. I mean, when Anglin gets the ball, or Fletcher gets the ball, or Webster gets the ball, they had to get further in field. They couldn't, for example, in Fletcher and Webster's case, they couldn't go down the wings and whip crosses in because you had Warner Brown and Atkinson. They're just standing there. There's no movement. There's no. I'm gonna drag this player with me so that he can go into my position, and then it's all chaos at this point. We can make something happen. There was none of that. There was no endeavor. It was always a back pass. It was just too static. It was just too static. But that was my thoughts on the game. I didn't expect it to go that far, really, 17 minutes. But hey, what are your thoughts on the game? If you think Reggae Boys are just utter shit, you can put it in the comments as well. We do. Yeah, I like to see your comments, guys. I like to see what parts of the show you'd like to see enhanced, what you like to talk about, everything like that. It's a really good, you know, back and forth with you guys. You know, of course, a lot of you aren't live on Kick with us. The bad thing with Kick is I don't normally see how many people are live when we're on Twitter. I mean, we could all interact at the same time, right? Well, I'll be back on Twitter soon. Don't worry about that. But yeah, our next topic, and we'll just move quickly into this. Kasey Palmer has joined Luton Town. A step down, he's made his debut for the club already. Yada yada. I mean, he's joined a team that should be getting promoted. They're 7th currently, but lots of the season left to go. Kasey Palmer, he's got to be in the Jamaica squad, by the way. We have no creative force when he's not there. So I can guarantee you 100%. If he was on the pitch there against Curacao, we win that game, limbs in the national stadium, we're at the World Cup, and we know we're playing Portugal. Now we have to wait. He is a talent. Is a reason he was in the Chelsea academy. Is a reason they signed him at age 16 and brought him over. This man is talented. Now, obviously, he's 29. He probably will never be able to get back to the top flight like he did when he was at Huddersfield. He played a few games in the Prem, but this guy could go places. I wonder if he's ever thinking about leaving England, because that man would walk into the Eredivisie and be Johan Cruyff. That's a high standard, but he is that talented a football player. He's gonna go back to Hull at the end of the season, but if he's being loaned out now, more than likely he's gonna be sold in the summer. So we're gonna keep an eye on our eye on Kasey Palmer to see if there are any teams willing to take that punt on him. Remember, he just came back from a huge injury, so this Luton spell is supposed to revitalize him. So yeah, we're looking through at that. We are still awaiting word of the next friendly that should come up next month, in February, for the local based players. Another camp that will be called. I don't expect the same players to be there. I actually do expect Cash and Dino to be in the new one, but hopefully this one goes much better with better movement, better play, and it gives us more headaches as to who can be there. Um, One topic I wanted to jump in, it's not part of the show or itinerary, but one thing I needed to bring in. Do you guys think, and I just need your comments on this one, it's not going to be something to talk about, but do you guys think it would be a good idea for us to become, um, what do you call it, feeder clubs? By that I mean, clubs in, you have like Blueco, who are in charge of Chelsea and Strasbourg and other smaller clubs. You have the City Group, who have Melbourne in Australia, who have an MLS team, NYCFC. They have Man City, they have Girona. Do you think we need to put ourselves in that position? For example, um, with Ineos. That's the only one I can think of currently. They own Manchester United, they own Nice, they own Lejeune Sport. Do you think maybe someone should make an approach, for example, from Cavalier or Portmore, Mobile United, to say, hey, we got talent, and it's an easy way for all players to move from here to Switzerland, and then if they're showcase the talent that we know they have, they probably move to France or to Spain or to the Premier League, which that's a high jump, let's be real. But the hype and PR behind them will push them further forward. I mean, have you guys seen Victor Gyökeres? But yeah, do you guys? Does anyone think that's a proper idea for us to take up? Jamaican clubs being feeder clubs, and you know, making it in the top flight. Players can actually move. It might take a few years. It might not implement so quickly. But do we have anybody out there, like the owner of Mount Pleasant, who's done this with RC Mons, who look, if you go to there and you play well, you're non-professional. Technically, the bigger clubs will take you on free transfers. But maybe we do this with English clubs. Let's say, for example, and this is purely hypothetical. Um, let's say, let's say Arnett Gardens, for example, right? Arnett Gardens have had players who have played for Charlton Athletic. Let's be real, they've had about three in their history. Let's say Arnett Gardens partner with Colchester United, same ownership takes over them. More money is coming into our clubs now locally, and the person who took over Colchester, let's use Pato for example. I saw that story. Pato, he's a part of AC Milan. Then Colchester, Arnett Gardens, AC Milan. Let's say a player is that good. They said Colchester is not going to be enough for them. Let's send them directly to AC Milan. And then, from there, probably they loan them out to a Serie B club or Pizza, who are normally in the relegation zone. And then they develop. And then all of a sudden, we have more and more players dispersing all over the European continent and playing in leagues that are worth talking about. Well, that's just a thought. That's just an absolute thought. And sticking with the JPL, this is my final topic, the title charge. Now, who is having a title charge? Obviously, I'm speaking about Racing United, guys. I said it before once Fry was on the show at one point. Is Anthony Patrick the best coach in Jamaica? Obviously, that's a no. Tapa Whitmore is. But he has put himself in that position. Now, Tapa Whitmore, even though I said he's the best coach, his team plays the best football, which is weird because Tapa never played good football. He's a knockout specialist. He and Rudolph Speed are knockout specialists. And I think that was the issue as to why they didn't succeed with Jamaica. They look at it more of a knockout competition rather than playing a league and developing something. That's why I think if Anthony Patrick takes over, maybe we see something here. Maybe there's something there that we've not spoken about. But as of time of recording, Mobile United top 5 points clear Racing United, and a further 2 points to Portmore United in third. Montego Bay, not Montego Bay, Mount Pleasant, they're fourth, but they have about 5 games in hand. Right now, we're looking at they're probably top of the league at this point. Cavalier fifth. Harbourview are absolutely terrible. Guys, I'm saying this right now. They are absolutely terrible. How can you be 3-0 up against Treasure Beach and lose that game 4-3? And because of that and losing against Dunbeholden 4-2, they have swapped positions with Treasure Beach. So are we going to see Harbourview in the Major League or Super League come next season? I mean, a club of their stature, Harbourview, is virtually the what can I say? They're like the Aston Villa of Jamaican football because they won everything before everything was a thing. Like they were very good at one point, 90s, noughties, even in the early 2010s they were good. And I have no idea what's dropped off. And Vassal Reynolds in charge, so I know the players are just absolute dog water. Because Vassal Reynolds goes anywhere and makes a team win something. He was the reason Wolmer's won their last trophy in 2016, and he's the reason KC broke their title drought in God knows how long. Well, lie, that was Ludlow Watts, but he won back to back, which they haven't done in God knows how long. And for Harbourview to not show any improvement since he's taken over means the players are terrible. So what's gonna happen there with the ownership? Are they gonna look and see if they can invest properly? Get better players in. Transfer window is still open, and currently they've really not done anything. So I have very low hopes. Spanish Town, they're gone. I don't care that they've hired O'Neill Thomas and Teddy Johnson in their backroom staff. They're gone. They ain't coming back. They are wolves. They are wolves. The new ownership makes no difference. They're just shit. Um, but yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, as per usual. No fry. I'll reach out to him now. I just sent him a message actually while on the show. So hopefully it's all good and everything. And we will have him on the show next week. Guys, I always appreciate you being here with us.